Okay. Good morning, everyone. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Hope everybody's staying safe today in this snowy, cold day. Before we, I like to call everything to order. If the power goes off today, council will be canceled and rescheduled for a later date. And also for the councilors, please leave your cameras on. And when voting, I'll be calling your names and you answer with a yes or a no. So it can be recorded by Steph because we can't see everybody's hands online. So I need approval for the agenda with an addition from Mr. John Bain will be doing an appeal for a site plan for 66 Dundas Road. So can I have approval for the agenda?
So moved.
Is that Mr. Carr?
Yeah.
Okay, it's approved by Councillor Carr, second by Councillor Bourne. Yes, second by Councillor Bourne. All in favor? We'll start with Mr. Donovan.
Aye, yes.
Councillor Bourne,
Yes.
Councillor Matheson, Lafort,
Yes.
Councillor Patterson,
Yes.
Councillor Hennick.
Yes.
Motion carried. So the approval of the minutes they're all in your package for November 17. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
It's moved by Councillor Donovan. Can I get a seconder, please?
Second.
Who said, I'm sorry, you'll have to state your name when you say that.
Sorry, Councillor Hennick.
Thank you, Councillor Hennick. So all in favor, we'll start with Councillor Corr,
Yes.
Councillor Matheson Lafort,
Yes.
Councillor Bourne,
Yes.
Councillor Deputy Ward McLeod,
Yes.
Councillor Patterson.
Yes.
Motion is carried. So we have first on the agenda, we have the Theatre of Bedeck Phase 2 presentation by Hannah and Christie. If you ladies are ready, we will go to the presentation.
Okay, great. Well, as a start, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
And now can everyone see my screen?
No.
Just 1 second, if you could start
Okay.
sharing the screen, please.
It's sharing now, Jess, yeah.
The screen is showing. We see your presentation now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, great, okay. Okay, hi, everyone. Oops. Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Ziss. I'm presenting this morning, of course, with the other Core District producer, Christy. I'm just not sure if everyone can see her little square as well. I can see her over there on the side. Thank you so much for letting us come in and speaking with council today. You would have received a large package from us, from Steph, I assume, that's sitting there in front of you. Apologies that it is a wealth of information. We are hoping we'll have time for questions, please. I am sure you'll have questions about that information, / I'm hoping we can clarify some of that info in the course of this presentation today. So what we'd like to do is provide a report on phase 1 of our renovations at the Greenwood Arts Centre, which Victoria County Council so generously supported. We had a fantastic first season there, just closed a hugely successful Christmas show there just last night. So we wanted to provide an update on that. And then we will be able to provide an update on phase 1 of our renovations at the Greenwood Arts Centre. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting heavy feedback. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry, I could just hear my own voice there for a second. So then we will provide an update on phase 2. We have very exciting design plans for the completion of the center. We'll have a chance to show you some renderings that if you haven't seen any of those already. And then we have a proposal for how we would like to subdivide the remaining work for 2026 and 2027. So we will take you through the so-coined phase 2.1 and then respectfully make our ask to council. So that is our agenda today.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can all hear and see me as well. So we are delighted to be able to report that phase 1 was completed on time and on budget. And we had, as Hannah mentioned, a very successful summer and Christmas season offerings for our season. So for those of you who've had the chance to come and visit the Greenwood Arts Centre since we opened in July, you'll see that we have this new beautiful lobby space and bar that's pictured here. The work was completed on these 3 really important washrooms, one of which is a fully accessible one. We had the very critical upgrade done to our electrical facilities so that we can be a state-of-the-art performance venue, so upgrading to 3-phase power. The critical code work required for fire and life safety systems, and a whole new stairwell that is to code and links the lower level with the main level. So that important work was all completed, and we're just delighted with it. But as delighted as we are with the whole space, we did manage to make magic happen in the theater space itself, but that is the area that continues to be fully incomplete. There are areas of the lower level as well, obviously, but for the critical work that we are trying to do with the Greenwood Arts Centre, the theater space itself continues to be just a large open space with a lot of plywood. We discovered through the course of our summer and Christmas seasons that acoustically it is quite poor. We just have temporary seating in there and temporary everything actually. And so because the performance hall is not at all complete, it isn't a space that is actually rentable yet for all of the sorts of performance folks or conferences or any of those possible renters. It's really not available yet for them. And so critically for us as an organization, we are feeling ourselves in kind of a difficult position where we don't really have the capacity to increase our revenue through these really critical rentals, but we are about to look at some significant rental increases, which is of course part of our lease arrangement with Greenwood United Church.
So as a way that I think sort of almost encapsulates the position we're in now, some of you may know that we hosted a Celtic Colors concert in October, which was a huge success. And I'll share that when way back in the wintertime, Celtic Colors told us that if not for these renovations that made the building fully barrier free and outfitted it with sufficient washrooms, Greenwood would have been on the chopping block as a venue. Celtic Colors is doing they are reconsidering their venues to make sure that they are properly barrier free and have adequate washrooms. So Greenwood would have been on the chopping block if not for our renovations. So we're already thrilled that the work we're doing at Greenwood is ensuring that we are having amazing cultural events like Celtic Colors continue to happen. But that said, the concert was a big success and audiences were very pleased with the space. It was very comfortable for audiences. It was a very tough day for their technicians because the building is just not, the lighting setup is not complete. So I think that kind of encapsulates where we are now, which is that we're on the cusp of being able to have this huge impact as a venue, but there are still some things that are holding us back. But we would be remiss if we did not take this moment to once again thank Victoria County Council for your critical support of this first phase. Truly, we would not have finished on time or on budget without Victoria County support. And there is a report in your package that kind of outlines the specific breakdown of how phase 1 kind of broke out. And if anyone has questions about that, please, at the end, I'd be happy to answer those. But in short, you'll note that 76,000 went towards the construction costs and 23,000 went towards critical soft costs, the ongoing design and consulting work with the engineers and architectural designers that are designing this space for us. So once again, thank you for that critical support. So I spoke to this. We spoke to this back when we presented in February, but I felt it bears repeating that everyone understands that our mission and goal, top of mind with the Greenwood Arts Center, is to create economic activity all year round in Victoria County. That is the impact that we believe this center can have through year-round programming, through our own personal programming, but also, as we've mentioned, rentals and touring shows in the fall, winter, and spring. And that these events will have a wide variety of they'll have a wide variety. So obviously live theater, but also live music. Hugely and critically, we are very excited to be making this space a movie theater in Victoria County. We are getting such a huge amount of positive feedback from folks about this specific use case. So this is a top priority for us. But it's a great space for meetings, conferences. You may know that Victoria County yourself, there was an information session at the Greenwood Arts Center back in November that worked quite well as well. So I wanted to repeat this again, just because we're so passionate about this and about what this building will be, but it also impacts the way that our amazing design team thought with intense detail and consideration about all of these use cases when they were designing this next phase of the center, which Christy can speak to.
So Hannah, I don't know if I can't see the presentation anymore. I'm not sure. Is that the same for everyone? Or is it just me? So there we go. Okay, great. It's back. Thanks. Right. So we are delighted to be able to bring you these beautiful renderings that show the completed Greenwood Arts Center space. These have been created by our design team. Sean Bisson Design is an architectural engineer and a theater designer, and he and the other consultants in projection, lighting, and sound have come together, and acoustics rather, sorry, have all come together, and a really important measurement scan was done of the building earlier in the fall, so that the images that we are about to show you are actually not AI generated or anything like that. They are specifically the result of this incredibly specific measuring and design work done on the building. And so the images that you're about to see are not what it could look like. It is in fact what it exactly will look like, in fact, to the centimeter, apparently. These are very inspirational for us. When times feel challenging, we come back to look at all of these different spaces. This, of course, is showing the Greenwood Arts Center in its movie formation, with obviously with the projector screen there and the seating bank. This one, of course, is showing it more in a live performance venue, and you'll see the beautiful raked seating and the very comfortable seats. As I mentioned earlier, what we have right now is a very temporary setup. When we talk about theater seating and audience experience, we talk a lot about the rake. That is the angle of the seating bank. For those of you who possibly were able to come and see our Christmas production, you'll know that what we have set up there is quite temporary. And as the director of the piece that we just closed yesterday, I can tell you that there are some significant setbacks in trying to create work in a space with the theater seating that we have right now. And so this, though, is exactly what we will need to give people a beautiful experience of the theater work that we're going to create. And you'll see up the back in lit there is the area for the stage manager to actually run the show from that booth at the back. The next one, this is just a cross section showing you both above the main level, obviously the bar area, and the lower levels, and the multi-purpose rooms that will be available down there. This, of course, is just an aerial shot, and it's showing a cutaway of the audience bank so that you can see all of the storage that will be existing underneath that audience bank. Sean and his team have really thought through so many aspects of how to create a state-of-the-art functional theater and performance venue, and thought about things that even Hannah and I, who sort of think we know it all in this industry, do not. And it's been kind of amazing to see some of the really important thinking and using every square foot of the building absolutely optimally. So yeah, that's what some of these pictures are showing here. And this, of course, being the lower level, which of course shows these two really great multifunction spaces. But also to the left, you'll see that there are change rooms and more storage rooms, and something that, again, on the show we just did with 20 plus community members joining our professional cast. We have a very large cast for this Christmas show, and dressing rooms and space to actually warm up and were kind of critical and quite lacking on the show that we just finished. So this is some pretty exciting design work here for us as well. So the phase 2 work that Sean and his team and Dylan Consulting, who continue to be the really critical engineers involved in this project, that phase 2 at a class D level costing is coming in at 2.1 million, which includes a 25% quite generous contingency.
So obviously, we think we should acknowledge that this is, of course, a higher number than we had when we spoke to council back in February. So we just felt we should address that. I mean, obviously, there's things we all know, which is that construction costs continue to increase. But I think almost more importantly, there was just things that were revealed as we did features that would be required that we had not previously considered as we went through phase 1 of the renovations. And also, Sean and his team joined the process in August of this year. So we did not have Sean on the team back when we were presenting in February. And like we've mentioned a few times, Sean and his team, as we said in a previous slide, have actually managed to even open our eyes even further about what this space can be if it is properly featured. Christy and I see all the time cultural centers that get designed and put together where features are not properly considered, and then when touring companies or other producers consider it, it's very easy for them to say, oh, well, you don't have features XYZ to make this usable for us. Because I just want to say that our goals are, like, we want to be in conversation with other producers across the country. We want to bring Come From Away here, Mamma Mia. Like, these are the kinds of goals that we have, and there's just certain features that we need to have as part of that. So I just wanted to clarify sort of how that number was arrived at. Now, with that said, that is a lot of money in one fiscal year. So already in consultation with our other government partners, ACOA and CCTH, it was quite clear we were going to need to further subdivide the remaining work. So we sent Sean and the engineers back with their pencils to come up with what they have coined phase 2.1. And what the goals are with phase 2.1, first and foremost, there is critical fire separation and structural work that needs to happen. This is between the basement and the main floor. That's the fire separation piece, but the fire separation piece is tied to critical structural work that needs to happen in order to support the weight of a seating bank and the weight of the lighting grid in the ceiling. So that's first and foremost. But doing that alone essentially does not enable us to start increasing revenue potential, because essentially nothing changes. So we also asked them to include the minimum technical equipment required so that we could start showing movies as early as this fall and hosting some rentals. We felt this was the best strategy to see how we could start to, like we say, increase our revenue earning potential and also start to have the impact that we believe the center can have by fall of 2026. So they went back away with their pencils. You have Sean's full report. That's part of the package that you would have gotten. You've got his full report on phase 2.1. So this is all just summary information. The Class D costing between Sean's work and the engineer, again, with a very generous 25% contingency, is now 1.1 million for 2026 to do those basic objectives. So I know this is sort of a lot of numbers, a lot of information. So I think that this table here sort of summarizes it, we hope, the most succinctly. So you'll see phase 2.1 of 3 for 2026, the critical engineering work, fire separation, structure, electrical is 448,000. And then the basic tech package is for the screen projector, sound equipment, basic lighting is 445. So just to clarify, what this means is that fall of 2026 would mean we would still need to use the ad hoc riser system that we have now and loose chairs, in the hope that in 2027, we would be able to do the seating bank of 127 seats, The critical fourth washroom, which just to clarify, the fourth washroom is required so that we can have as many of it as 127 people in. So we would still be hampered. We would still have to reduce our capacity until that goes in. And then, of course, the remaining lighting instruments and most of the lower level work, including critically an accessible entrance. Currently, the basement is not barrier free. So this is critical as well for us to achieve that in 2027. So this table breaks it down. Again, you should have this table, I hope, amongst your packages. It's a very simple breakdown, but we just wanted to really sort of nut it down in as few line items as possible. So, as we've mentioned a few times, what is the first priority? I forgot to mention earlier that when we were granted occupancy from Eastern District Planning in July, that occupancy was granted on the expectation that we would achieve what is code required in terms of fire separation between the basement and the main floor in 2026. So this fire separation is quite critical. It does mean our occupancy to some extent is in jeopardy. So, but what's a bit complicated is that the fire separation can't be done independently. It's linked to the structural work and the electrical work. If we don't do it all at once, then the costs would be way higher because we'd have to essentially tear out the ceiling twice. And the structural work in the floor is connected to the structural work in the ceiling. I'm not an engineer. I wish I could explain it, but that's what Dylan Consulting does for us. It explains for us. So again, that's why I want to highlight this top line item of 448,000, because we feel that this is the amount that we need to move forward. But I'll let Christy speak first to where we're at with our other government partners.
Right. So I know that you're aware that we have been so happy to have the critical support of not only Victoria County, but ACOA and CCTH, the provincial government, and the proposal for phase 2 was to always work with Canadian Heritage, which is the other federal partner. But I know that we're all aware that the funding landscape has changed quite considerably since we were first speaking with you about this project. And so what's happening right now is that we have ACOA ready and willing to commit now, but looking for at least one government partner available now. CCTH continues to be very in favor of this project, very enthusiastic, as does the federal government. And in past communications with Canadian Heritage, it was the Cultural Spaces Fund that was our best fit for being a funding partner for phase 2. And this would have been for all of the critical technical infrastructure and lighting and sound and projection equipment, the chairs and the seating bank, the masking that theaters critically require, all of that, the black fabric, the wings as we call it. This was all the Canadian Heritage Cultural Spaces Fund. But as we're all aware, everything globally and even here in Canada has changed quite dramatically. And so recent budgets for both the province and the federal government feel like they're putting these departments in an unprecedented situation currently. And so neither of those partners right now are today in a position to deal with the early part of the phase 2. And this is why ACOA is sitting ready to commit, but looking for that critical other government partner.
So what we are looking for is we are looking to find commitment from as many partners as we can for that 448,000 so that we can proceed on time, not lose our contractor who is sitting waiting to start work this winter. But we can't have him start unless we have some funding to at least get started, to ensure that we can start earning more revenue and having more economic impact by fall of 2026. It is our hope that CCTH and Canadian Heritage will be able to join in the next fiscal starting in April. And I want to say again, in as emphatic a way as I can, I'm not telling tales out of school to say that CCTH is deeply passionate about this project. What has been explained to us is that for them with capital projects, they have what they call a pressures list. And we've been told we are at the top of that pressures list. So it's just a case for them of, quote, finding the money. I would also invite, I'd CCTH is always happy to speak with other funders. ACOA and CCH sometimes meet without us. We'd be very happy to connect. If Victoria County is ever interested in being part of those meetings, this is something we can absolutely arrange. But anyway, this is sort of where we are. This is the way we're trying to find a way to keep us moving forward so that critical work can happen. And so with all of this in mind, we hope this provides the adequate context for why we are coming to council today to respectfully request that you consider $225,000 to support phase 2.1 so that work can proceed on time, because it is our hope, or more than hope, almost our expectation, that if there is some commitment from Victoria County, this will make ACOA commit and we can move forward.
And I think I think
yeah.
it's worth mentioning too that it is more than a hope. These are the conversations that we have been having with ACOA and our contact there, who is more than interested in speaking to Victoria County directly, as Hannah says, with or without us, to talk about a way forward in the short term so that some of this critical work can begin in much earlier in 2026. Yeah.
And so this other 50%, just to be clear, this isn't 50, like phase 2.1, this would represent obviously or more around the 25% range of phase 2.1 because there are 5 partners in this project. It's Victoria County, we hope, and ACOA, CCTH, Canadian Heritage, and of course Theatre Bedec's contribution as well. So that was a lot of information in a short span of time, and we also overloaded you with a lot of paperwork beforehand. So please, any questions at all, any clarifying questions, we'd be happy to take those.
Thank you, ladies, for your presentation. Right now, do I have any questions from council? I don't see any hands there. Nothing. Okay, right now we can't commit. We have to talk about our budget. So we will take your ask back and we'll get back to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, councillors.
Thank you.
Thank you, Warden.
Okay, next we have on our agenda the Cabot Trail 100 presentation from Mr. Coffin.
Good morning, Council. Thank you for taking the time to hear us today. I guess just want to confirm you can see and hear me and all is clear on your end. Yes?
Just give me 1 second, Dan, if you could
Sure.
open your presentation as well and share it.
Okay.
Oh, there you are, Dan.
Okay. I think it's coming through.
Okay.
There. Can everyone see and hear me?
You can.
Excellent.
Just
I'm just
waiting
waiting
on your...
for the
we're just
file
waiting.
loading here.
Yeah. Just waiting on your presentation there.
You're sharing your screen now, Dan?
Trying to.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Looks like, Jackie, you're not the only one having issues today. Hang on here.
That makes me feel good, Dan.
Can always count on me for that. All right, let me find the right one here. It's more like it. Yeah. Okay, we can all see that now, I guess.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So yeah, okay, so I'm presenting today on behalf of our Cabot Trail 100th Anniversary Advisory Group and want to thank you for your time. The presentation we'll walk through today is really just a a bit of a recap on the project to date. Something we started back in August of 2022. Some of you may recall a presentation with Larry Daphne giving a motion at that point to reenact something from our long historic past. So I'll walk you through the process here today and give you a little update on where we are as a committee and who forms that committee, and some recent meetings that we've had with some of the Nova Scotia ministers involved in the departments that we're going to be working with, hopefully in partnership on this project. So Balazs Jalasi, bienvenue, Falcha, and welcome. We've embarked on this project with a very strong focus on collaboration. Working together to explore this opportunity is going to be critical, both from the residents around the island, around the Cabot Trail, as well as the Mi'kmaq communities, Acadian communities, and also the Gaels. So it is an exceptional opportunity for Unama'ki Cape Breton. As you see in the next couple of slides here, long revered, the Cabot Trail has been spoken very highly of by many different publications around the world. Been a top scenic drive in many publications and many magazines and news articles that have come out, and continues to this day. So a couple of years back, in partnership with Cape Breton Partnership, as well as a few key strategic partners around the Cabot Trail in Inverness County, ourselves and Destination Cape Breton embarked on an economic impact study. From the results of that study, it was estimated that $306 to $383 million increase to the provincial GDP is the impact that Cape Breton brings to the table. When you look at the population of Cape Breton at about 14% of the overall population of Nova Scotia, we are generating 20% of Nova Scotia's tourism sector output. Obviously punching a fair bit above our weight. And when visitors come to Cape Breton and spend money within Cape Breton, $1 of spend in Unama'ki Cape Breton generates $2.63 in total output, not impact, but output, compared to $2.20 in the rest of Nova Scotia itself. So significant facts that show that the visitation in Cape Breton and the impact of Cape Breton is strong in relation to the rest of the province itself. In 2018, the Tourism Nova Scotia department within the Nova Scotia government did a tourism icons program, did some significant studies on the biggest motivation why people would come to Nova Scotia. And looking at the results of that study, it became very clear that Cabot Trail at 45%, 45% of the people that were surveyed indicated that the Cabot Trail was the reason they came to Nova Scotia overall. Obviously making it one of the top 5 Tier 1 Nova Scotia destinations. So taking a look back, absolutely. Taking a look back, this all started with some insight from, I think, a councillor named Sydney S. Burke.
I think, Dan, your internet connection may be going in and out a little bit.
To Cape North. Actions to the provincial government, request to the provincial government. But in 1925, a provincial loan highway act was passed and $70,000 was allocated for the construction of the road. And if you think of what $70,000 in 1925 would be worth today, it's easy to think of the impact, the significance that had at the time. In 1926, work began from Shetty Camp to Pleasant Bay, and locals were paid $1.25 for a 10-hour workday. Sorry,
Hi,
folks, am I
Dan.
frozen? Yeah.
Yeah,
Am I back?
you keep freezing up on us there, Dan.
Okay, just give me a minute, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, folks, am I back?
You are back.
Apologies with a household of 3 teenage girls on a snow day. The internet seems to be a little bit pushed to its limits. So I apologize, and hopefully we're all set there. So what did you hear last, I guess, before I froze?
The provincial loan for the highways. We heard
Okay,
that.
perfect. So back in 1926 is when work was begun on the Cabot Trail, and the first section was done from Shetty Camp to Pleasant Bay. Locals were paid $1.25 for a 10-hour workday at that time. And by the fall of 1927, 24 miles of the trail were completed. But from 28 until 1930, it was only a footpath that was completed between Pleasant Bay and Big Intervale, mostly due to stalled funding with the recession that came in. And in 1931, a federal unemployment program interestingly provided 200 coal miners from industrial Cape Breton and 50 local residents to construction crews to get that work back underway, which then resulted in completing the trail by October 15th of 1932. Interestingly enough, obviously, I guess at this point in the 1920s and 30s, the Mi'kmaq were not anywhere near the discussions or welcomed or included in any of the process in building the trail, naming the trail, or any of the work that went into planning for the trail. So when we look back at where we are today and how we move forward with a 100th anniversary commemoration project, it becomes ultimately important that we take a first step of acknowledging the truth. We've worked very closely with Robert Bernard of Nova Scotia Indigenous Tourism Enterprise Network and Daryl Bernard with Union and Nova Scotia Mi'kmaq, who have been on our committee from day one of this project. With Council's motion in 2022, we invited the Mi'kmaq, 5 chiefs of the Mi'kmaq were included in our letter to invite them to the table to discuss the celebrations. And the feedback that we've had to this point from our partners at the table, as well as from their elders from the communities, were that acknowledging the truth becomes a key element of what we do moving forward. And here are some of the points that have been brought to us through the process thus far in this committee. So the Mi'kmaq people of Unama'ki have lived, hunted, and gathered in all areas known around the Cabot Trail. They taught early settlers how to survive and live off these lands. They've lost a lot of their traditional place names, and within Victoria County at Indian Brook, we have one where the original name of that location was Gaspakega Hunjij, which is the place of the little fish, and currently holds the name of Indian Brook, which would be not necessarily a pleasant term in their minds for sure. They have not been included in the planning of the original trail as well, and are still not yet well represented in tourism experiences around the trail, which is a critical point in looking at us as the world-class destination that we propose to be. And in the final point, they do not honor or celebrate the figure or history of John Cabot. So that's understandable, I guess, given the time that it was at that time. So acknowledging the truth becomes a key element in us moving forward, and inviting and encouraging the Mi'kmaq communities to provide feedback and input into this process is one of the pieces that we've committed to going forward. So as you recall, in August 22, we formally motioned for the 100th anniversary, inviting the chiefs, municipality of Inverness County, Nova Scotia's Department of CCTH, to participate in the process. On June 24th of 2023, we had our first initial meeting at Cabot's Landing Provincial Park. And from there, we've completed an organizational terms of reference. And that terms of reference really states that we're not, as an advisory committee, here to make decisions on what the celebration will be, to basically to put our own thoughts and ideas forward. It's more along the lines of creating an open framework that the communities around the trail and those impacted and the cultures that are existing in Cape Breton all have a say and a voice at the table for what becomes the commemoration in the 100th anniversary celebrations. We've done a community research project to dig up new stories around the Cabot Trail within the communities. We've formed a government liaison committee, which has led to some of our recent meetings with the ministers in Halifax. And we've done some extensive community engagement planning, which you're about to see start up in January. We'll have Eleanor Anderson with Tenfold Communications has been contracted to go into all the 7 communities around the Cabot Trail, as well as the 5 Mi'kmaq communities, and gather input and feedback on this celebration as we plan over the next 7 years. So on the advisory committee, we have Parks Canada, Nova Scotia provincial government with CCTH, Destination Cape Breton, the Cape Breton Partnership, World Tourism Institute at CBU, Victoria County, Inverness County, Nova Scotia Indigenous Tourism Enterprise Network, Union of Nova Scotia Mi'kmaq, and ACOA has been supportive, although they haven't, they do not sit at the advisory committee table, but they are very interested in the project and have been receiving updates as well. So with that, with our plans thus far, we've created 4 goals for our advisory committee. One being to commemorate, so the celebration will be basically focused around a year-long series of events and activities. Those activities and events will be focused on what the feedback we get from community and what we're hearing from our communities and how they want to celebrate their spaces and their places. It'll be focused on cultural appreciation, so incorporating the collaboration with the Mi'kmaq, Acadian, and Gaelic cultures, focused on history and stories and cross-cultural learning. Goal 2 will be to engage, so make sure that we have strong community local involvement in the planning, the organizing, and the benefits that come from these activities. Focused clearly on partnership, so establishing and fostering ongoing relationships between all these partners, especially the cultural partners, in bringing the Cabot Trail 100 project to fruition. For goal 3, we look at preserving and enhancing, so it's around boosting the tourism, increasing tourism to the region by promoting this trail nationally and internationally. Preserving our cultures and environments, focusing on preservation and promotion of the culture and natural heritage of the Cabot Trail for future generations, not just for what it does for us today. And renewing infrastructure, working with key partners to renew or refresh the infrastructure around the trail so we do become the world-class destination we should be. And for goal 4, we look at project management, so effective management of this project so we ensure that we meet the goals and have a positive impact on the stakeholders and rights holders of Cape Breton. So this leads into most people at this stage of the presentation, we get a lot of questions on, well, how can we help and what's in it for us and how do we get involved? So with this, we've taken a whole of government approach in our presentations where we've approached different departments within the Nova Scotia government at this stage. So we can walk through a little bit of what we've asked of the different government departments. With the Department of Public Works, it was pretty clear right from the get-go that the roadway itself is something that every partner at the table has initially said that we need to have higher standards. We need a better standard of access on the sides of the roads as well as through bridges and through communities, better intersection widening, better rest stops, cycling lanes, and that sort of thing. There's also been a move put forth for a Bridges of Reconciliation project, which would see as a bridge around the Cabot Trail needs to be replaced, that the Mi'kmaq are brought into the conversation to talk about the history of that area, possibly putting a Mi'kmaq name on the brook or the bridge, or the area surrounding that area, and making it a cultural opportunity to share a bit of Mi'kmaq culture with either petroglyphs or some connection to the culture through signage. There's also a huge push for winter tourism growth by ensuring consistent maintenance through the winter so that we can continue that year-round operating push. With Department of Natural Resources, we focused on day use pick parks, so bringing back garbage receptacles and overnight enforcement so they're not turning into impromptu campgrounds. We've discussed the opportunity to have a memorandum of understanding with the Mi'kmaq communities so that these picnic park areas can be used as shared spaces that Mi'kmaq can share their culture in an organized and planned fashion. To keep public spaces open year-round, so ensuring that we have proper road maintenance on the driveways into the picnic parks and year-round access. We saw that heavily in need during COVID as well. For the Department of Emergency Management, really focused to push around resource considerations, focused on the number of visitors we have coming as opposed to the number of residents. We've seen all too often fire departments and emergency first responders in need of different equipment. We just recently went through it with council ourselves, helping to provide equipment so that proper safety can be handled in the ways people are using our communities. Cell phone satellite service, obviously emergency services planning and resources, winter and year-round accessibility again for emergency response. And with Department of Communities, Culture, Tourism and Heritage, we've looked at asking for an annual commitment to support the project for the next 6 to 7 years. Kids are going to love that one. Support community engagement, research and planning. Basically continue to focus on getting the feedback from our communities so that we understand what the communities want to see in a commemoration project. Commitment to support the industry capacity building from year-round experience development. Commitment to support our 2032 celebrations as a separate project. And then commitment to develop collaborative marketing strategy by 2029 so that we're able to then bring our industry operators into the fold so they have a 3-year preparation window to plan their own marketing budgets and their own planning for their own operations. And also, we've also talked about this at council, I believe, but exploring the removal of the seasonal tourist business tax program or establish a pilot program that will incentivize businesses, seasonal businesses, to stay open year-round. So again, pushing toward that year-round operational standard. And now finally, as a municipality, how can you help? We basically are looking at ensuring that we have continued annual support, both personnel and myself and Colleen's work, and some financial support as we've been doing consistently for the last 3 years as well. We want to ask for assistance in building awareness among residents that this project is taking place, and to help spread the word on community engagement sessions when they come up starting in January. I'd be ideally having you attend some of those and maybe share them amongst the key movers and shakers in your community so that we do have strong community input. This project will not be the success it can be if we don't have community members out giving all their best feedback to this project. And then continuing to advocate for making the Cabot Trail that truly world-class destination it should be. So, Valalio, merci, tapadle, and thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Any of the councilors have any questions or comments for Dan there? Nope, looks like you're good.
I
Dan.
do,
Oh.
sorry. Warden?
Sorry, go ahead, Deputy Warden.
Thank you. Just for after this report, what is next? We need all these recommendations. And what is the first phase we're going to do? Do you have any idea?
From January till I think it's the end of May, there will be community engagement sessions taking place. So there will be one scheduled in what's considered the 7 regions around the Cabot Trail, as well as one in all the 5 Mi'kmaq communities. And those engagement sessions will be pulling, number one, looking for to build awareness that this is happening, but getting ideas together, like how people want to see this celebrated in their own communities, how they want to see cultures included, what are the most important activities in their area. So obviously Shetty Camp and Ingonish, although geographically may have a lot of similarities, they have very different cultures and very different attractions for people coming. So they're going to want different styles of celebrations. So that the first phase is really getting that feedback. There's also some hand-in-hand work being done behind the scenes on the government relations side, so building more towards the full budget and how that works, as well as mobilizing an elders advisory committee of Mi'kmaq elders that will also play a role in helping guide some of the important projects and discussions that are coming up through the community engagement.
Okay, and we will start thinking about budget as well, right? For next year, a little bit? Okay.
Yeah, what we've been committing to is the same. We've always had a commitment to Destination Cape Breton, and Destination Cape Breton's projects as they adopt. So we've dedicated, I think, $10,000, I believe, out of the tourism budget towards that, the Cabot Trail budget, and I've kept it in my budget as consistent for that up until we have a bigger ask or a bigger project to try to tackle.
Do you think we have to put a little more aside? Maybe you can come with a recommendation for the next budget.
Yeah, well, we'll have some discussions in budget for that for sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you, Dan.
All right, thank you very much.
Presentation.
Appreciate your time. Take care.
Next, we have Mr. John Bain for the appeal on site plan for 66 Dundas Road. Good morning, Mr. Bain.
Good morning. Good morning, Warden. Thank you for moving this council session onto online. Saved me a drive to the back. So council has my package, and this is something that's going to be a first time for your council to deal with. Everybody on council is aware that the municipal planning strategy and land use bylaw is a brand new document. So, you know, a few months ago, this proposal would have been permitted as of right. There would have been no zoning requirements whatsoever. So, but the new document, while it permits a mobile home park like this or a manufactured home park like this, there are site plan approval requirements. So it's important for council to be aware that the use is permitted. The appeal would be that we didn't address the site plan approval requirements. And, you know, the written appeal record, which is before you, primarily deals with not wanting the use. So that's not an issue for council's consideration really, because that use is permitted in the zoning, subject to the site plan approval requirements. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go over, I'm going to share my screen. I think I can share my screen. So you should be able to see my screen now.
It's not fully, we just see a little square of it in the corner there, Mr. Bain. So
Oh, there we go.
there it is. Thank you.
Thank you to the IT people who were able to do that, because I did nothing. So this is the property. It's off of Dundas Road in Ingonish, and you'd be familiar with the area. And now I'm just going to go over to the land use bylaw. Okay, so for a site plan approval, these are the criteria, and you've got the staff report that was written for the review of the site plan. So we were provided with a site plan. Still have that up, but maybe I don't. So this is the site plan we were provided with a number of manufactured homes on a roadway that goes up. The appellant's property is basically where the legend is. So he's to the east of the property. There's plantings that are proposed for between the manufactured home and the property. There's stormwater management shown on the site plan, and down further a little bit is their current manufacturing building. Let me just go back to the plan. So we're looking for landscaping, fencing, similar visual barriers shall be provided. Now, when you look at the property, right? This is the property. It heavily wooded around it. The Dundas Brook up to the west of it. Existing buildings here, and we're looking at the manufactured home subdivision happening further up the lot. So when we look at the bylaw talks about landscaping, et cetera, to minimize visual impacts and privacy intrusion on surrounding residential property. Now, part of our rationale was there's no real residential properties around it, right? When you look at the mapping, there's a residential subdivision over here. There's some stuff down here, but there's not. And then it says to a reasonable extent. So my staff were aware that this is a new document. The rationale behind the new document that would be a light touch. This isn't a site plan approval in in Bedeck, where there's all kinds of residences around it. It's very rural. So to a reasonable extent, where possible, existing vegetation shall be preserved on site and incorporated into the site landscaping, particularly for the protection of environmental sensitive or significant areas. Mature lots shall be preserved, stormwater shall be shown. They're going to have to meet Department of Environment's requirements for a on-site system. And then there's a discussion about movement throughout the site, so pedestrian walkways. I think at some point, council is probably going to want to come back to these because this is a very rural area and we're, to some degree, we're applying some more urban, suburban standards. But even there, it says, where these things are available on the adjacent property, then we're concerned how that connects to the existing property, right? On the property, they've shown us some site plans, vehicle access, vehicle circulation, and that's it. So the staff report, which you have a copy of, reviewed the site plan, and then I approved the site plan. And then we notified neighbors, and neighbors have an opportunity to appeal. And so we received the one appeal, and that's why that's before council now. So council has two choices. You can either uphold my decision to approve the site plan, or you can overturn my decision to approve the site plan. If you overturn my decision to approve the site plan, then you're going to have to give reasons for that, for overturning it. And so for example, you overturn it and you say, well, there could have been more landscaping to the west of the property. It's all tree to the west of the property, and reasonably, right? But if you decided that, then we would be going back to them and saying, you're gonna have to show me something along the west side of the property, and I would approve the site plan again. Or they could appeal that decision, the decision of council to overturn my decision. So again, this is new to council. It's the first one that we've done for Victoria County. It's, 4 or 5 months ago, we wouldn't even be in here. This would have just been permitted as of right. We feel that the developer has met the site plan approval requirements. And so I approved it. At this point, I think you have an opportunity to hear from the appellant. I'm not sure if he's here. And then you also have an opportunity to hear from the developer who's proposing the manufactured housing subdivision. These lots are not going to be subdivided out. It is rental. They're not. But again, those kind of issues are not part of the site plan approval, right? Are you going to subdivide little pieces out? So I'm being told that neither the appellant nor the applicant are here.
No, they're not.
So really, council, they don't have to be here. That doesn't void this hearing. But my recommendation to council would be that you would uphold the site plan approval. And if you've got any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the counselors and see if they have any questions for you there. Does anybody, Counselor Patterson, go ahead.
Thank you, Warden. Good morning, John.
Morning.
I'm just wondering, maybe I missed it, but you mentioned there was one appellant or objection to the granting of this permit. Could
That's
you just
correct.
give us, you may have already done this and I might have missed it, but could you just give us a a short clip of what their objection was?
So their objection is in your package. But basically it was that they did not want to have a mobile home park, a manufactured home park in the area. They talked about, people not being committed to the area, increased traffic. Well, I can actually bring that up probably elsewhere. It is in your package, but, see if I can just, have so many screens open. So, yeah. They're concerned that the mobile home park does not have the possibility of quickly solving the housing issues. They talk about 24 families on a road, that excessive noise, privacy issues, property values being diminished. So nothing in their appeal, except perhaps the reasonable amount of privacy and peace of mind, relates directly to the site plan approval. But when you look at the, so he's on the east. The units are removed from his property. They're proposing plantings along the west side, the east side. I just want to caution council about considering issues that are not related to the site plan approval itself as opposed to the use. Because that use is permitted. It was permitted before the zoning, and it is permitted now.
Counselor Patterson, did that answer your question there?
Yes, thank you, John. Just another thought, looking at the map, you said it was surrounded by forested area. Are there two exits or is there only the one?
So their site plan is going to only have one drive up that. Okay, so that's the appellant's property. And these are the two properties that are owned by the
No, I know there's some concern during forest fires of only having one exit.
yeah. So the zoning doesn't have a requirement for a second exit. But that's not something that we've added to the bylaw. You know, there's minimal opportunity to do that on a property like that.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, John.
Any other questions? I just got notice that the developer is here. If he would like to speak, are you there, Bodie?
So I'll stop sharing my screen, I guess, and
I don't know if Counselor Donovan was in contact with Bodie. Is he here? Counselor Donovan?
He had messaged me and told me that he was here. He may be, perhaps he's watching it and not actually in the meeting.
Yeah.
So Jackie,
Yes.
we have Jeff supporting us for IT.
Okay.
So he would need to know who to be permitted into the meeting.
Okay. Do you have, Ursula, do you have somebody there that's looking to get into the meeting?
No, I'm just saying if Bodie's looking to get into the meeting, he might not be familiar with his name, the way it's appeared
Okay.
on screen.
Counselor Donovan, can you ask?
He is looking to get into the meeting, yes.
What, how does he
What,
appear on the
under what
screen?
name?
Alan, Alain, Beaudin.
Okay, I'll follow up with Josh.
Thank you. Mr. Bain, according to your maps there, how close is Mr. McKinnon's home to the proximity of where the trailer park is going to be? The trailer park's gonna be in his backyard, right? Backyard?
Yeah, so he's on the east side of the property.
Yes, but
Um,
is his home not closer to the main road? Like that's, or is it?
Yeah, well, it's hard for
I'm
me
sorry.
to see where the home is. I wonder if I can. Yeah, in fact, it might actually be on the other side of Dundas Road, right?
Mhm.
There is no residential tax on this property, so it's all resource, so I'm not 100% certain there's even a residence on it.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, we'll just wait another few minutes to see if Bodie is here.
He said he doesn't really have anything to add at this point. He just
Okay.
that he is aware of what's going on here.
Okay, so this,
So
Can I
do
just
we
ask
know-
a,
okay, go ahead.
Do we know Gordon McKinnon is not in the audience? He
We
would
have,
be, his email would be mckinnon.donaldg@gmail.com.
As of a few minutes ago, he was not in the meeting and he has been sent the latest link. I have also received zero confirmation back from him that he is attending or not.
Right.
thank you, Steph.
And
Can I
I
just-
I didn't receive I mean, originally he said he wanted to be here, but I haven't heard of further confirmation either.
can I ask a point of clarification? It's Alex.
Go
So
ahead, Alex.
does the complaint actually meet the criteria for the appeal process?
The actual complaint, no, and so that's
Okay.
one of the, they're looking at changing the Municipal Government Act so that I could make that kind of determination on an appeal, but right now, notwithstanding that, you still have to hear the appeal.
Okay,
So
but
there is
if
the
they,
opportunity, if he was here in person, that he might change the reasons why he's appealing. I feel uncomfortable with council hearing a changed appeal. Grounds for appeal.
right, but if council was to accept the appeal, they would be going against the land use bylaw as written.
Yeah, so, well, that's my position.
Right.
But, I went over the criteria.
Right.
And so if somebody was appealing and saying, well, this whole internal sidewalk thing, they didn't show that, and they should have, so we're gonna accept the appeal. Our position is we checked off all of the appeal criteria. And
Right.
it meets them.
And you and your staff are recommending not allowing the appeal.
Yes, so the decision to approve the site plan has been made. And so that's my recommendation to council, is that we've approved it. Your decision now is to either overturn my decision or confirm my decision. Of
Okay,
course,
so
I
you,
would want you to confirm my decision.
yeah, so we're looking for a motion to either accept the site plan as presented or to overturn the site plan. Am I correct?
So I did get an email from Mr. McKinnon that says he is in the meeting. So I'm not sure how he's in the, anyway, I just got an email from him a minute ago saying I am in the meeting.
Okay.
So we should really.
Yeah, I'm gonna
make
try.
some kind
I'm gonna try to get Ursula or Jessica. Can you check with Jazz and see if
Yeah.
that Mr. McKinnon is in there?
McKinnon?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was sent an email invite. He might be watching the public meeting as an attendee, but if he can use the link in his email to join the meeting, then he'll be able to use his microphone as well.
Yeah, because as of right now, he is not in the meeting, like showing as a presenter. So he needs to log in with that last email that Jessica sent.
Steph, do you want us to take a 5-minute or 10-minute
Yeah.
recess to try to get hold of Mr. McKinnon then?
I would recommend a 5-minute recess at
Okay.
this time.
Okay, we're going to have a 5-minute recess, council, to try to get Mr. McKinnon into the meeting.
Mr. McKinnon's microphone is not working.
Mr. McKinnon, do you have your microphone turned on there? No, we can't hear you, Mr. McKinnon. Still can't hear you. It's saying your microphone is shut off. Is everyone else on their stuff? Because I can only see 4 people, so.
I believe so, Jackie.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna make a call here. That due to technical difficulties, since we can't hear Mr. McKinnon, and other things, I think we should call this council meeting to an end. And we'll reconvene. We'll decide tomorrow or the next day whether we can get together. Because, and as we know that we can't take questions from the public at the end of this due to the form that we're in. So I think we're going to maybe reconvene, maybe January. I'm not sure if we can get together within the next week due to everybody's schedule, but if everybody is okay with that, I'd like to call this meeting to an end. Can I get any comments from the
Yeah, I
councilors?
agree,
then?
Warden. I think that probably the weather is influencing the internet connections, and it's not really fair to the public
No,
when they don't get a chance to answer. And Mr. McKinnon too, if his microphone is not working,
yes.
I mean, he has a right to be heard too. So.
Yeah. And,
John, that's correct, isn't it, John? He has a right to be heard. I mean, to have a discussion about this situation.
Yeah, it is an appeal hearing, so you'd want to hear from the appellant.
Yeah. I just want to be fair to everyone. And like I said, we can't take any questions from the public at the end. And I'm sorry about that, but if that's okay with council, I'm going to call this to an end then.
Can I just
Can-
ask one question first, Alex?
Sure, go ahead, Alex.
Does the appeal need to be settled before the new year?
No, well, I guess that's more a question for the developer. My assumption is they're looking at a spring start. But, you know, I don't know if he's still here. No doubt he wants it settled sooner rather than later.
Yeah, so
But
that just might be
there's
something,
there's no legislative requirement why it would have to be done before the end of the.
right, but that might just be something we want to determine whether we address the appeal independently before the new year or if we wait till January.
Mr. Bowden basically just sent me an email, said that he couldn't get in either. So,
Okay, so to be fair with everyone, I'd rather, you know, postpone this meeting. And we'll talk about another date.
Okay, thank
Warden?
you.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks.
go ahead, Deputy Warden.
Just have an asking because we're going to adjourn the meeting. I have just one question if our staff can ask for Tiro Berek when they need that answer about the money. So if just before we adjourn, can you ask, I would like to just ask staff if they can, I was going to ask when they need a decision from council about the asking from Tiro Berek. So
Oh,
can
from
you just
Theodore
say that?
Bedeck.
Yeah, thanks. Before you adjourn, thanks.
Okay. Deputy Warden, I think we need to take that ask. We have to talk about that for budget.
Yeah, just,
That's
but
a-
if they can tell us, oh, I missed the deadline for them. So I just want to know when they need that answer for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I think they are looking for an answer as soon as possible, but we will get clarification on their timeline.
Okay,
Thank you, Alex. Counselor Bourne?
Are we just adjourning the whole meeting or just the section for the appeal?
The whole meeting, I think. Everything's glitching. You guys are glitching too. Yeah. It's just that, and nobody can ask questions at the end of it, Counselor Bourne. So, in case somebody, you know, want to question on your motions and everything. So, I think that's what we'll have to do for today. Do I need, I don't need a
Meeting
motion.
adjourned. I move to adjourn the meeting.
Yes. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Thank you for the coming on board, and we'll be talking to you. I'll be emailing you in the next day or so, and we'll try to get another meeting arranged. Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for everybody for coming back. We're going to start off. Mr. Bain had his say. I have Mr. McKinnon here in the chambers with me, and Mr. Bodine is online. I will give each of you gentlemen 5 minutes. Mr. McKinnon, if you have anything extra to say that wasn't in your letter, I mean, you can start right now. Thank you.
Let's see. This is my first time. You'll have to forgive me for a little nervous being in front of the council. But for the most part, my letter sort of stated everything I was feeling about the appeal. From personal experience and just what I've seen from family, friends, and things like that have had trailer parks and mobile homes and things like that put around their properties. It tended to depreciate property values and cause more issues than it solved. But in that said, I do understand that the workers are needed around here and they do need a place to live. It's just hard having family property that has a risk of having more issues that I have to worry about when I'm not easily available to check on the property and do things with it. One thing that was listed in my letter was the main road being close to the property, and it's probably going to have a lot more road noise and travel with 24 possible families living so close. For the most part, in my letter, I have said as much as I could, but there's probably a lot more. I did try to look through some of the codes and all that for the appeal, and it's far beyond my comprehension. But it's mainly from experience I wrote that appeal. I believe that's all I can say. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you, sir. Bodie, are you on there? Do you have anything that you would like to say? You have 5 minutes. Hello, sir. You're on mute. There.
There we go. No, just generally speaking, obviously, the community needs housing. In general, these units would be for purchase, more so than for rent. There will be a few that are kept for rent, but ultimately it's in our backyard too. So obviously our focus is to keep this as a very comfortable place for people to live, and due to the lack of units available in English at this point, it's proven difficult for professional people to call this place home and grow with the community. So ultimately we are doing our best to make sure that this development, as well as others, are useful. You know, chalet style places on a waterfront aren't very good for regular working people. So we need to create something that opens that price point for people that can actually work here and live here year round, as opposed to seasonal. So ultimately that's all I have to say.
Thank you. So we have in front of us, Mr. Bain, we need to make a motion on whether we accept the appeal or go ahead with the plan. That's right. Is that not right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I think it is important for council to know that the appeal can only be of the site plan specific.
Yes.
And so all you have heard in the appeal is regarding the use.
Okay.
And even Bodie's defense was about the use. The use
Yes.
is permitted.
Yeah.
The appeal should be focused on how it's laid out and if that layout meets the requirements of the bylaw. And you've heard nothing to suggest otherwise.
Okay. So I need somebody to put a motion in that we're going to accept the site plans for the Ingonish development. It's moved by Councillor Donovan, second by Councillor Carr. All in favor? I can't see Wanda here, or Councillor Hennig. And I can't see Councillor Bourne. So can you state your name and yay or nay? Start with Councillor Patterson there.
Thank you, Warden. Yes, that's to accept the plan as submitted, right?
Okay. Yeah, Deputy Warden.
Yes.
Councillor Matheson-Lafort.
Councillor Matheson-Lafort, yes.
Councillor Bourne.
Counselor Bourne, yes.
Councillor Hennig.
Counselor Hennig, yes.
Motion is passed. Don't know, dear. Okay, so next thing on our agenda is district highlights. We'll start with Deputy Warden. Deputy Warden, you are muted there.
Sorry.
Thanks,
Yeah, just have a comment. I don't have district highlights. I just want to tell to the residents to have a happy holidays. Drive safe and see you next year. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Matheson Lafort.
Okay, so now I'm going to do the opposite and talk for too long. Last month, November 26th, along with Terry from Victoria County Transit, I was honored to be invited to speak at the Seniors Lunch Program in Iona. We've all talked about it. These lunches are fabulous. They get to socialize, stay informed, and have a hot, delicious meal. So it was a pleasure to get to talk to everybody in that informal situation. So I hope those keep going on for years and years and years. Regarding snow removal in my district, during recent snowstorms, some residents had questions about road clearing in our district. So I encouraged everyone to help by keeping a brief record of road conditions and sharing observations with the Department of Public Works. Working together like this helps ensure concerns are addressed promptly and keeps roads safe and clear. Some constituents have expressed interest in possibly reviewing the situation with provincial representatives in the future to explore any potential improvements, of course, always with the goal of serving the community. Regarding Sacred Turtle Boutique Farm Shop, after careful consideration, the shop will close for the season after one final weekend. So don't miss their clearance sale this weekend, running from Friday through Sunday, with a wide range of items available at special prices. The shop will reopen in March. Regarding holiday events, I want to take a moment to congratulate all the organizations in our district that have hosted successful holiday events over the past few weeks, and there have been many. Your hard work and dedication have brought our communities together, spread festive cheer, and made this season brighter for so many. Thank you for all you do to make our district stronger and more connected place. And speaking of events, the Wadmakuk First National Annual Christmas Gathering will be held today from 4 p.m. with dinner served at 6 at the Great Hall inside the Culture and Heritage Center. Attendees can enjoy a turkey dinner, entertainment, Santa gifts for the children, door prizes, and plenty of holiday cheer. And to promote my own community, we're having a Little Narrows community drive-by called Our Shining Lights, and that will take place December 22nd. Join us for a special Christmas light drive-by in memory of Charles Ellis and all of our loved ones. The event, hosted in partnership with the Little Narrows Community Development Center and the Ellis family, including their extended relatives, will feature a visit from Santa, tea, hot chocolate, treats, and live music. The most important part is all the donations are for the Bearer Food Bank. They will be collected at 89 Little Narrows Road from 5 to 7 p.m., with a Christmas gathering at the community center starting at 7. Non-perishable food items and monetary donations are welcome, with tax receipts available for monetary contributions. This event is a really wonderful way to honor loved ones and share some holiday cheer with the community. And my final comment is that as we wrap up our final council session of 2025, I want to wish everyone in our district and across the county a joyful and peaceful holiday season. Thank you for your support this year. I look forward to working together in 2026, and happy holidays and a wonderful new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Patterson.
Thank you, Warden. As Councillor Matheson Lafort stated earlier in her report, that snowplowing is an issue, which it is every year this time. I think there's some problem with the changeover of crews and mechanical difficulties. But anyway, they usually get sorted out as the winter goes on. I'd just like to thank the Senior Safety Program and Cassandra for their work in setting up the coffee Mondays, I think it's called, in Big Brador. They've been fairly well attended. They've had a couple of speakers in, and it's a chance for people to get out and meet their neighbors and talk to their neighbors and so on. Ross Ferry also had a visit from Santa, and he left me something that will help to heat my house for the rest of the winter. I don't know what that means exactly, but anyway, that's what happened. And then finally, again, wishing everyone a happy holiday, have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and we'll see you all in 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Patterson. Councillor Donovan.
Good morning. Let me see. If I look across the harbor from my window, I can see that there are folks skiing this morning. The gondolas are running, and I can actually see the little ants coming down the hill over there. So that's all up and running and underway. The Victoria County, I guess the Highland Arena, they donated their boards, the rink boards, to the outdoor rink in Ingonish. I was up with a crew a couple of days last week to take them apart. That was the costs for getting them, was taking them apart. But there were a couple of really nice folks in Bedeck who also showed up with their tools and strong backs and helped us take them apart. So now we just have to get the rest of them transported to Ingonish. So that was really nice of them to donate those to the rink in Ingonish. They'll be well used. Work continues at the wastewater treatment plant. They still have a few boxes to tick before everything is up and running, but the weather hasn't helped with the snowfall recently, but I guess they are still underway and trying to get things back on schedule. Speaking of back on schedule, the daycare in Ingonish is now being pushed into February for opening. Yeah. With regards to the wastewater treatment plant, I had a gentleman reach out to me, unsolicited, I might add, Adam Brown from Cape Breton University. He is the sustainability coordinator in their Department of Risk Management, and he sent me a lot of information about wastewater heat recovery systems. So I passed that on to the construction manager at Ski Cape Smoky. What it may help them do is lower the temperature of the effluent, which comes out of the plant, while at the same time being able to recycle and reuse that heat to heat the buildings. So that may be something well worth looking into. Other than that, hope everybody has a happy, safe holiday, and Santa Claus finds you all. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Donovan. Councillor Bourne.
Thank you, Warden. So for my district highlights, on November 26th, I hosted a community safety meeting at the Indian Brook Fire Hall with the RCMP constable in response to the recent break-ins. The session was well attended and gave residents an opportunity to ask questions and learn practical home safety tips and resources. I want to thank the constable for her time and look forward to hosting a similar session in the new year. I also wanted to mention in early December, our community experienced a situation that required repeated responses from our volunteer firefighters and the RCMP. I want to thank both groups for their professionalism and persistence under difficult circumstances. Behavior that puts residents, first responders, or the environment at risk is unacceptable. I will continue to support and facilitate the ongoing efforts to resolve this situation through the appropriate channels, while continuing to work with the first responders and partner agencies to ensure safe and well-being for our community. On December 13th, I had the honor of attending the North Shore and District Volunteer Firefighters Awards Recognition and Retirement Dinner. It was a privilege to participate in recognizing the dedication, years of service, and sacrifices made by our volunteer firefighters. Our community is deeply thankful to the department for their commitment and service, and to the families who stand behind them, often making personal sacrifices for our firefighters can continue to protect our community. Over the past several weeks, I've attended several community AGM and hall meetings, as well as local social events, including a dart night. I enjoyed attending these events as they provide me an opportunity to stay connected with residents, listening to ideas and concerns, and staying informed on community priorities and updates. We do have one little update coming up for an event, and this is the North Shore and District Firefighters Department will be hosting their annual lobster dinner fundraiser on January 10th. Ticket information is available on the department's Facebook page, and I encourage residents to support this important fundraiser. And with this being said, I do have a motion to put forward. I do move that council approve an allocation of $2,000 from my district budget to the North Shore District Volunteer Fire Department to assist with purchases of medical and response supplies. These funds will support items not fully covered by EHS, including AED pads, batteries, medical vests, and bags for medical first responders, and the essential supplies needed for emergency medical calls.
There's a motion on the table. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councillor Matheson Lafort. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And then finally, I would like to wish everyone in District 4 and across the municipality and all of council and the municipal staff a wonderful, safe, and peaceful holiday season.
Thank you, Councillor Bourne. Councillor Hennick.
Hi, I'd just like to give a shout out to the Cabot Fire Department. They had a couple events last weekend. They had a delicious spaghetti dinner on Saturday. They canceled on Friday because of the weather. And then they had a family fun day on Sunday with Santa photos, pet photos. It went over really well. Also to the Bay St. Lawrence Community Center, they had their Santa workshop on the 13th that gave kids and families opportunities to go in and shop for loved ones. It was a great event put on by both communities. So, and today we have the actual toy exchange at the Cultural Center in Cape North, put on by the municipality. So if anybody's around, pop in and say hello to Morgan. She'll be in waiting on people today. We had a good day setting up yesterday, so hopefully there'll be a good turnout. There's lots of toys that can find forever homes. And also, as Councillor Donovan was saying, the daycare has been pushed in Bay St. Lawrence also till February. So hopefully we'll get more updates as that comes available for the residents that are looking for childcare. With that being said, this weekend on Saturday, me and Morden Organ, it will be on going around with the Cabot Fire truck with Santa on board and going street to street and wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. So come on out and give us a wave. We'll be glad to see everyone. And as for me, I'm wishing all people in District 8 and all through Victoria County a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and to my fellow councillors and to the staff and everybody in Victoria County. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Carr.
Thank you, Warden. District 3 is looking very festive with lots of Christmas lights and decorations all around the area. I'd like to thank Bruce, John Daniel, Sean, Logan, the staff of the municipality for making the municipal building just look so great. They did a fantastic job. There was a large Christmas parade held in the village as well, with some of the councillors participating. It brought out large numbers, and hopefully the businesses did quite well off it. There was a free community dinner put on, organized by Reverend Brian McLeod and Chef Matthew Smith, and it was very well attended. We had 150 dinners that went that day, so it was a great event. It got people going and talking, and they just had a great time. The boardwalk project is pretty well shut down for the winter now, so they'll continue in the fall or in the spring. And the Lions Club held a very successful dinner and silent auction at Inbury Inn. This was a fundraiser in support of the Kidston Island Beach operation for our children every year. The program has been going on now for over 65 years, and it's one of their pet projects, I'll tell you. And thank you to all the organizers and to Scott McCauley and his staff at Inbury. It was a great evening. And on a personal note, I would really like, on behalf of my family and myself, to thank the community, my fellow councillors, the staff of the municipality, and friends from far and wide for the tremendous support that they've given myself and family over a very difficult time. And my family and myself wish everybody in this wonderful county a very happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hopefully everybody stays safe and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. So for District 7, had the privilege of attending a Christmas fundraiser held at St. Andrew's Church in Niels Harbor, where a group of talented local musicians volunteered their time to put us in the Christmas spirit and raise $1,218 that will be divided between the Highland Manor and Highland Visions. Thank you, Bruce, Norman, Katie, Meredith, and Darren. The Danny Ainsley Senior Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament will be held at Cabot High School this weekend, starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Come on out and show your support. I have a personal note on that. My son's number will be retired on Friday. On Saturday, December 20th, as Councillor Hennick had said, Cape North Fire Department will be escorting Santa around the area, weather permitting. Trucks will be decorated, so come on out and see Santa. Please be safe. The local food drive, I have an update from Lyle. So on December 5th, RCMP, EHS, and the Ingonish Volunteer Fire Department all got together at the Fresh Mart grocery store in Ingonish to cram the cruiser with food or monetary donations for the local food bank for the North Smoky. We did the same thing on December 13th at Niels Harbor Co-op with the addition of Niels Harbor New Haven Volunteer Fire Department. We feel it was a huge success between both sites. We collected almost 6 RCMP vehicles full of food and $3,030 in monetary donation. The monetary was fantastic, as Scotiabank and EHS will both match this amount. So a total of $9,090 in funds and almost 6 vehicles full of food for the local North of Smoky Food Bank. This will be extra special during this time with Christmas quickly approaching. The plan is in place to include Cape North and or Bay St. Lawrence next year. And it was a great turnout. Also from myself, I'd like to wish you all Merry Christmas. Please check in on your neighbors and friends. Some people find this season lonely. So, but hope everybody stays happy and healthy, and we'll see you all in the new year. Thank you.
Warden, I forgot something.
Okay,
Can I
you go
add
ahead.
something? Okay, thank you. We make a motion last in the emergency meeting about the sidewalks just to plow Chibuktu Street. So I would like to amend the motion to add the Old Marguerite Road, where is the sidewalks from the hospital, and the low Twining, where is the visitor center, that sidewalks to be plowed this winter, just because in the motion was only Chibuktu Street. So we have that area have to be covered as well.
Okay, we have an amendment to a motion. Do I have a seconder? A second from Councillor Carr. Any discussion on that motion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried. Thank you, Councillor, or Deputy Warden there. Okay, we're going to go on to motions and resolutions. We have dry or low well reporting. Councillor Bourne?
Warden, before you do that,
Okay.
Councillor Donovan has his hand
Oh,
up.
sorry. Councillor Donovan, I did not see that, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm only a little uneasily overlooked. I actually meant to do this at the last meeting, but where we got cut short there, I didn't get the opportunity. I'm not sure. I think I have to put a motion on the floor. I would like to put a motion on the floor that I contribute $1,000 out of my municipal fund to the North Smoky Food Bank.
There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a seconder?
Councillor Bourne, second.
Second by Councillor Bourne. All in favor? Your motion is carried there, Mr. Councillor Donovan.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going back to Councillor Bourne for your dry well.
Thank you, Warden. Over the past season, many of us heard from residents whose wells have been running low or going dry. It has been a stressful situation for families. And although private wells are not a municipal responsibility, the impact on people is very real. I think we all care deeply about making sure our community is prepared and supported when challenges like this arise. We are also seeing this happening in other parts of Cape Breton and across Nova Scotia. And with changing weather patterns, it's likely something we will face more often. Some municipalities, including CBRM, have already started voluntarily tracking reports of dry wells. What I'm hoping we can do is something similar, a proactive step, not to take on responsibility of private wells, but to make sure that we have a clearer picture of what residents are experiencing. This kind of information can help with emergency planning and positioning us well if future supports come available from the province or the federal government. So with this in mind, I would like to bring forward a motion, and here is the motion. That council directs staff to research how other Nova Scotia municipalities track reports of dry or low yield private wells, including the approaches used by the Cape Breton Regional Municipality, and to provide council with options for implementing a voluntary reporting mechanism in Victoria County for emergency planning and future preparedness.
Sorry about that. There's a motion on the table. Do I have a seconder there, please? It's second by Councillor Donovan. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Your motion is carried. Thank you, Councillor Bourne.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Councillor Matheson Lafort on net zero community building.
Yes, thank you, Warden. Just to recap, in case it wasn't that long ago, but just to go over it, the net zero community building project, which was presented by Andy Thompson, had to do with a group of 21 community buildings. And what they did was upgrades to reduce energy or eliminate energy costs altogether. And he came and presented to us, but now what we have to try to do is figure out if this is feasible for Victoria County. What can we do to make it happen in Victoria County? Because I don't know how it happened, but the community centers became my passion project. They're the one thing, communities who have lost businesses, who have had out migration. It's a struggle to try to stay connected, and we all realize that after COVID. So to me, just community centers have become the end all and be all. I never thought that would happen, but so my motion for today is I move that council direct staff to undertake a comprehensive review of the proposed net zero community building project for Victoria County, and to report back to council with a detailed assessment of feasibility, along with recommendations concerning potential implementation. That is my motion.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Do I have a second? Second by Councillor Donovan. All in favor? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Warden.
Okay. Now we have our CAO report.
Thanks, Warden. So you've received my report, just going to highlight a few things out of it. So it was brought up, I believe it was at the last council session, to look into drones. Deputy Warden McLeod requested staff look into this. If this is something we're looking for, perhaps this could be brought into the next budget discussion. and maybe some more details on what it is that you're looking for exactly, like how many, what the purpose is for them. So if you can maybe send us a note on what about drones you'd be looking
Do
for.
you think you can check with Lyle? Because I was talking with him. So maybe he have more information on how many he need for the fire departments. So that was with
So
Lyle.
it's EMO purposes.
Yes, EMO purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I will check with him for sure.
And if you want to copy to the MLA, because we were talking about it, so he could be some funding around there too.
Okay, sure.
Thanks.
Also, there was a request to look into dry hydrants. So Lyle is also tasked with that through EMO or Fire Services Coordinator. He's received a couple of quotes so far for pricing on these. It's about $5,000 for labor, and then there's for materials. Then there's labor and installation costs on that. He's working with a gentleman on priority areas for putting these, and I think what our thought was that we'd take a stab at possibly installing one per district each year, or included in the budget for one per district, but based on the priorities of Fire Services Coordinator's recommendations. So we'll come forward with some more information on that in the next while, and we'll be building that into the budget. So a couple of other things in the finance department. So Q2 is complete. We've put a lot of work into it. It looks like we're in a strong position for our year-end audit. We were going to look for some further improvements to balance depth and efficiency going forward. And I believe you had an audit committee meeting on Monday. So that's great. Some information on our tax sale that we had November 25th. There was originally 6 properties remaining at the time of advertisement. 3 were paid prior to the sale. 1 was deferred to a future sale and 2 proceeded to the auction. 1 property was sold, 1 did not. In our communications department, we're working currently on a municipal grant program that we have for an online application. So it could be streamlined. It's a lot of work to go through all the applications, and if we can find a way to have them submitted online, we're looking at different options for that. There'll be communication pieces going out to support that launch in January. Not sure if I'm hoping that you've noticed there's been some updates to our waste sorting. There will be a waste sorting guide. It's online now. It'll be going out in mailboxes to Victoria County in January. The new recycling changes came into effect December 1st. It's interesting, we've heard from some staff members who say that in a certain time frame, there used to be about 10 bags of garbage that was included in our blue bags for things that weren't able to be recycled. Now that's been, what we're seeing is an average of about 3 bags for things that can't be recycled. So that right there alone is a huge win for more things that are able to be recycled. So we've already seen a decrease in the short period of time. There's been a tender that's gone out for an extension on our current C&D cell at the transfer station. We'll be extending that closing date to January 5th, 2026. In our water utilities, our meter reads are going to start in late December, early January. Bills will be going out shortly after that. Hopefully you've all noticed we have a brand new shiny Dingwall water tower that's been replaced in the last little bit. Our fencing had to be removed for the old tower and the new tower, and the fencing has been extended a bit. There was a leak in Little Narrows last week. Staff were working on that to narrow that down. So that came from Monday, but that is no longer, so not really news at this time. In our tourism department. So Dan attended the Tourism Industry Association of Nova Scotia conference in Halifax. Want to extend a congratulations to Kat Lamy and the Cabot Trail Motel team. They won one of 4 Nova Scotia Tourism Pineapple Awards this year for their dedication to customer service. And if anyone has ever been to the Cabot Trail Motel or restaurant, you would have experienced that. So congratulations, Kat. for that. Very proud. In our recreation department, so Chris has continued programming around the county. I hope everybody has seen or heard good things about that. He's also continuing his Alexander Graham Bell walk program and plans more programs and equipment loan programs for youth and adults in 2026. In relation to our trails, so our first road trail in Victoria County has been approved in Big Bedeck from our waste management site to the Highlands. This was applied for by Central Cape Breton ATV Club with assistance from ATVANS, which is ATV Association of Nova Scotia. And big shout out to Councillor McLeod for her, Deputy Warden McLeod for her work in getting community feedback for this route and for getting this done. This is a huge step. So onward and upward, we're slowly eating the elephant with our trail system. A few other things. So we've received environmental approval for our water utility sites, our transfer stations. So we've received our the permits to operate those from Nova Scotia Environment. We've also received all, as Councillor Donovan mentioned, we've received all our permits for the wastewater treatment plant. Work has begun there. Lots of stuff going on. They will be taking a break at the end of this week until the first week of January and then pick up with next steps. Also, as Councillor Kerr mentioned, the lights and decorations on the administration building here look fabulous. Huge thank you to Sean McSween and Logan McLean. They took time out of their after hours, which they didn't have to do, but generously donated their time. Thank them. Thank you so much. There is a lot of lights up there that were replaced this year. So they took down the old lights and installed the new ones. I was actually thinking we should have asked Councillor Kerr to be up there in the bucket also, but they did a great job up there. Not sure if liability would have allowed that. But anyway, huge shout out to them and also to Bruce and JD. They always do a great job in the summer and in the winter. Our building is beautiful. I'm sure you've all received the letter that we sent out, and I just added a couple of other things here this morning since we have a couple of days since the last session. The letter about the declining cell service that came from Antigonish County. Wondering if everyone is interested in us putting together some type of letter the same. Maybe we can put that in a motion at some point that we work with other municipalities and maybe do a consolidated letter to send off to the province to express our concerns about cell service. Not sure if that's something you want to maybe talk about now.
Yes, we can. I would love for somebody to put a motion forward for us to work. I mean, I can put the motion forward that we work with other municipalities and to get better cell service for us and the rest of Nova Scotia. Can I get a seconder for that?
Councillor Bourne will second.
Councillor Matheson-Lafour got her hand up before you, Councillor Bourne.
Oh, I couldn't see. I can't see everybody. Sorry.
That's
No worries.
okay. So it's second by Councillor Matheson-Lafour. All in favor?
Yes.
Motion's carried. Please look after that for us.
Perfect. Also, just a tip, Councillor Bourne, if you go up to your view, there's a view button at the top. If you click gallery, you can get everything.
I do have that. There's 2 pages, so I couldn't click
Oh, okay,
over.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. We also received a request from Raising the Villages for $1,000 to sponsor their spring conference. It was sent to myself and the warden. If we're going to do that, we will need a motion for it. So wondering if you're interested in discussing that right now.
Yeah, we'll make the motion to sponsor the $1,000 to Raising the Villages for her convention.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councillor Donovan. Do we have a discussion or No? All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Your motion is
Perfect.
carried.
We will let them know. Just two other things, letting you know, NSFM is overseeing, there's a coastal planning support program. We've tasked Eastern District Planning to submit a joint application. There's more money if you collaborate with other municipalities. So we are seeing if we can go in with, we're calling it Cape Breton Light, everyone outside of CBRM, and see if we can get funding for community engagement and looking for hopefully some solutions for coastal erosion. So just letting you know that they have to be submitted by February, and district planning is doing that application. Last thing, also, I'd also like to wish everyone a happy holidays and let you know that it has been a pleasure this year working with council and staff. Not sure if you all know, but staff have done a collection this year, and we know it's a hard year. We actually sponsored, and with council's help as well, we've sponsored 7 families for Adopt a Family, and the stuff that was in the courtroom that was wrapped and sent out was truly amazing. So thank you to everyone. That's it for me.
Thank you. Okay. Councillor Patterson, you had something you wanted to raise here?
Yes, thank you, Warden. Just 2 quick things. Also in your report, the CAO mentioned, I think, about the FCM renewal invoice coming from that. So I would like to make a motion. I move that the municipality of County of Victoria renew its membership in the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, the FCM.
There's a motion on the table. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councillor Matheson. Second by Councillor Matheson Lefort. All in favor?
Aye.
Your motion is carried.
Thank you. And as I mentioned earlier, I just received an email yesterday or the day before regarding the next Board of Directors meeting. And it's going to be held in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador on March 3rd to 5th. So I would like to make a motion that I, Councillor Patterson, be permitted by Victoria County Council to attend the FCM Board of Directors meeting on March 3rd to 5th to 2026, used to saying that, in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador.
There's a motion on the table from Councillor Patterson. Can I have a seconder, please? It's second by Councillor Carr. All in favor? Your motion is carried.
Thank you, Council, for your support.
Thank you, Councillor Patterson.
And could I just mention one thing that that CAO mentioned too about the letter that came about the cell service, and I believe Councillor Bourne, you had either contacted Build Nova Scotia or talked to someone in Nova Scotia, Build Nova Scotia, about their project. They're spending $64 million, I believe, across the province. But I'm on the Public Safety Committee of the NSFM, and the last discussion we had at our last meeting was, how are they measuring what difference they're making? Because I know, I think I've said this before at the council table, I still have to go out on the step and stand on 1 foot. Like, it hasn't improved. I don't see any improvement in my cell service. And frankly, I don't know of anybody who does. Apparently, Councillor Bourne, as you say, once you leave Englishtown, probably, from there to Smoky, it's practically non-existent. Councillor Donovan, I think you had the same issue too.
Yes,
So, I mean, it is an issue across the province, and I think the more of us, the more municipalities speak up about it, they'll have to do something about it.
Thank you, Councillor Patterson there. Ms. McLeod, do we have any correspondence?
It's all been forwarded and in your council package.
Thank you very much.
I do have one other thing to note, Jackie.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
So it's been brought to our attention, and I just want to note, the municipality has agreed to us. I'm sure you've all heard about what's been going on Hunter's Mountain over the last while. So want to note that the municipality has agreed to assist the Mi'kmaq Land Protectors and the Snowmobilers Association of Nova Scotia with cleanup and site adjustments at Hunter's Mountain, both to support winter access and to continue building our relationship with the Mi'kmaq community around future use of the site. Over the weekend, cabins belonging to the Mi'kmaq Land Protectors were destroyed by fire. This matter is under active RCMP investigation, so we will not comment further. But what I will say is that the municipality does not condone violence or destruction of property, and we recognize the serious impact this incident has had on the Mi'kmaq community. So I just wanted to note that.
Thank you very much. Deputy Warden.
Yeah, thank you, Warren. I have reports for committees, so sorry, I have to do the committees. From just for the Victoria County Transit for the board, I sent some quotes for the B2, so I need your response. And if not, I will have to ask for a meeting because I need to make a decision about that. I just for Victoria Home Support Services, I just want if I couldn't have a letter for thank you to Terry Murray for her dedication as a chair and the transition to Norwood. As you know, Norwood is taking over from Victoria Home Support Services. So I just would like to send a thank you note for her for Terry Murray about her work she did during all these years. So I will make a motion for send a letter from the county to Terry Murray.
Okay, if there's a motion on the table. Second by Councillor Bourne. Got ahead of you there, Councillor Patterson. All in favor? Your motion is carried.
Thank you. And the last one is going to be a little more noise about the Cape Breton Victoria Regional Libraries and libraries in a whole. They're looking for more funding, and we know it's just a formula the province have for us, but it's getting very an emergency as maybe some libraries couldn't close. So just keeping that in your radar, you're going to hear more about libraries and funding. And we know that libraries in rural communities as us, it's not just libraries, it's a lot of help, mental health, help with applications. It's not just come and grab a book. So I just want to make that comment. And thank you, Warren. That's all.
Thank you. I'm just asking, do we have any questions from the public? No, we don't. So once again, Merry Christmas to you all.
Councillor Donovan has
Oh,
questions.
Councillor Donovan, you do?
Thank you,
Okay,
Warden.
and we have one more before we leave too. Okay, go ahead, Councillor Donovan.
This isn't really a question. Further to what Councillor Bourne had brought up in her motion earlier, and actually it's a discussion that we had before. Perhaps there's a way that we could work into the municipal budget to allocate money to each and every volunteer fire department in Victoria County without them seemingly having to come hand in hand, so that they have that little additional assistance every year to do what they do best, and that's to keep the rest of us safe. Anyway, our thought was somewhere in the vicinity of $5,000. I'm not sure what to even call it. It wouldn't be a grant, but let's just say a $5,000 check every year to each and every volunteer fire department to help them cover some of their expenses, buy new equipment, update equipment. Anyway, that's my thought.
That's in addition to what they receive now. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll look into that at budget time. And I have a question from Mr. McDonald. Mr. McDonald, are you
You're
there?
muted, Ross.
there we go. I can unmute
Yes.
now. Hi, folks. I just wanted to say, wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm sitting in the office overlooking Halifax Harbor, but thinking about St. Anne's Bay. So, wishing you all the best in the new year.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Same to you. And with that, we have nothing else. So once again, Merry Christmas to you all. I've looked so forward to working with you in the past and working with you in the future to make Victoria County a great, great county. So we'll be seeing you soon.
Merry Christmas, all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone.